So the reality of it is that with Nigeria, I don't know, Nigerian system is so convoluted. And any person that comes into the and I know this is in Africa, I'm an outsider, just like we're just giving our guess. Yeah. But you know, when you first come to Uganda, let's say as an individual like us, you're very excited about being here.
Yeah.
Until you live here. Right? No, I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
You live here, and then you hear the famous phrase, "This is Uganda."
Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Johnny Tamaya and this is the Repat podcast. I'll let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, Sacramento, California. I'm African American.
Yes, and?
What's up, people? DJ Maintain, first generation Caribbean, living in Kampala for now 5 years. Yeah.
Okay, I see everyone is talking about where they're from. I'm African, okay? A Ugandan at that. Now, you know, this is the Repat podcast. We discuss issues affecting Africans on the continent, Africans in the diaspora, African Americans, Caribbeans, and anyone else that's out there. Now, recently, Maintain shared with me a TikTok that thought that we could come up here and, you know, talk about it. Let's see what we have to say about this particular podcast. So watch this with us.
Do it.
Guys, Nigeria has discovered lithium, and now Elon Musk and Tesla want a piece of the pie. In this video, I'm going to explain why this may be the opportunity Nigeria needs to repair its severely damaged economy and leverage against Western corporations. Pay attention. Lithium is a mineral used for batteries. As you know, electric cars have become increasingly popular and they run on batteries made with lithium as one of the key components. It is thought that while lithium now accounts for about 30% of the batteries made, in a decade or so, it will account for 95%. That means the value is going to rise, and any country that can get in on the game now is going to win and win big. The price of lithium went from $6,000 per ton in 2020 to $78,000 per ton in 2022. And they're saying by 2040, it may be the most valuable mineral on Earth. So you can see why Nigeria finding this is kind of a big deal. For those not aware, Nigeria to date has discovered over 44 minerals occurring in commercial quantities. Nigeria should be winning. There is hardly a mineral of value that cannot be found in Nigeria. Tesla have asked to mine the lithium, but Nigeria's Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekan Adegbite, has said no, and that the only way they will do a deal is if Tesla and other corporations build their plants in Nigeria. Now, this is a smart move, so just listen to this so you understand why this is a big move. This will create jobs and opportunities for Nigerians and give a greater boost to the economy rather than just selling the mineral overseas. As you remember, Ghana and Ivory Coast are engaged in a cocoa war. I made a video about that, so if you've not seen my video about the Ghana-Ivory Coast cocoa wars, make sure you watch that video. So Nigeria now waging a war for lithium is a very, very good sign for the African continent because it means people are waking up over there. However, this isn't all good news. Mining lithium is a very damaging process to the environment, and we all know the issues Nigeria has had with oil pollution. Do we really want to introduce another set of environmental issues with pollution to the country? But the truth is though, do we have a choice if we want to be competitive? In my view, I don't think so. I think that, look, if you want to be in the game, you've got to be in the game. Nigeria is now trying to make a deal with Australia.
Yeah.
I'll let Maintain start
Take
it
this
off.
away.
Yeah, okay, I'll lead. So that to me makes me excited because the potential is beyond what we could even imagine, I believe. And if Nigeria sets things in place, like the brother on that TikTok video said, to benefit the country while keeping an eye on, you know, pollution, etc., it can set a precedent for the whole continent. And moving forward, when resources are found in other countries on the continent, they can adopt what Nigeria have done and boost their economy. So I'm very excited to see if Nigeria put their foot down and really go through with it, and for the betterment of their country. I just fingers crossed that you know, That's what happens.
Yeah.
Because too much exploitation has happened, and I
Yeah.
just think, it's time for a shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you're so positive about it. I'm actually really negative about it. For a big chunk of my childhood, I grew up in a mining small town in Kasese.
Okay.
Because there was copper there, in
right.
Western
Wow,
Uganda.
yeah, copper.
Yeah, so I see firsthand what these mines can do to the people living around them. I see what these mines can do to the people.
Oh,
like,
that's an
I feel like
interesting
everything, there's a price to pay when you allow such things to take place. Because like at the end of the day, these are minerals that rich people need these minerals, big corporations need these minerals. So they're going to do everything that they can to make sure they benefit. At the end of the day, you may see it and think, oh, I'll benefit, the job is that. But in the long run, you'll suffer for this.
Right. So what was some of the things that happened?
First
with
of
the
all,
copper mining.
yeah. First of all, there was
community.
an imbalance in power. You could clearly see that the white man was in charge, and then his counterparts were also in charge, and then the African person was brought. Maybe let them go down to the mines. They could have died or something like that.
okay.
They're the ones cleaning. They're the ones doing all the hard labor, and all they do, like they're not thinking of, oh, let me get money and move. No, that's their livelihood. Their intermarriages, and they're not being present dads and whatnot. And I say all this because my mom had a white stepdad.
Right.
Yeah, because
of the copper mine.
Yeah. But you see, there's so many things. And then these mining companies, when they leave, they do not demolish everything. They just leave the mines open. They leave the mines open. They leave I don't know, it just doesn't look nice. If there's someone out there who knows a place called Kilembe, you can look it up. The area is now affected by floods because like all this they used to take away all that copper, and then the environment, maybe decided to do something back. But that's just me. Shay, what do you think?
Well, I shout out to brother DJ Maintain for bringing the topic today. And I didn't, before we do the podcast, we never talk about the topic.
Yeah.
We shit around. Sorry,
Yeah.
my mom watches the podcast,
Oh,
and my mom is mad because I was cursing.
Sorry,
We got to
Mom.
bleep that out. So my mom's like, why are you cursing? So anyways, I look at Nigeria, in which they have an election now.
All right now.
And Nigerians and West Africans and Ghanaians are very protective of their country. They don't like people like us weighing in on something that is the opposition view, which that's what I'm good at doing. If it's not me, it's maintained.
yeah.
True.
But we got to look at what has destroyed Nigeria besides the Biafra War and your military coups, Sani Abacha, these other people, things like that. They just had a changeover, I think, starting with maybe Jonathan Goodluck on. Nigeria is suffering for bad systematic corruption.
Right.
So let's suppose that you bring these people in here. And I want to compare it and contrast it to another country that we know that's a very great country now, Singapore. I don't know if you know it. Kenya used to give Singapore aid.
Right.
I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that, no.
But Singapore, when they had no natural resources, they were able to force companies to come in and bring them skills. And now Singapore processes a lot of oil. You see very similar things happening in Rwanda. They don't have a lot of resources, but Rwanda, you see the skill set is growing in Rwanda, which is why Rwanda is pretty good in the East African community. But now Nigeria, these resource-rich countries, Congo, you look at Angola. What has these resources done for these people?
By the looks of things, nothing.
Nothing. We had the Biafra War.
Yeah.
We have, in fact, why do we even have the Nigerian or the Caribbean African War in Black America, or the African American versus the Africans, which is really Nigerians in many cases.
Right.
Or how did Nigerians get to the UK? Because of the corruption of Nigeria, right? And we understand that the outside powers, whoever they be, play into that.
Yes. Yeah.
But suppose Elon Musk gets his lithium. He gets a deal. We know what the state's going to do. We know what the government's going to do.
Yeah.
What does the government always do in Nigeria? Let me talk about this. And some of you Nigerians are going to get upset with me. I don't care. You can be mad. I'll be back there soon. You can talk to me about it if you want. We went to Lagos Airport in August. You've had two leaders in Nigeria who've took over the country with a military coup in the 80s and came back as president. One was Obasanjo. The next is the outgoing President Buhari. That's where we're at in Nigeria right now, okay?
Yeah.
You can take the country and become president again elected. That's what the Nigerian government. This is not about the people. This is where we're at.
Okay.
So you get to the airport and there's a sign. There's a maze when you get in, right? The sign says, if there's any corruption, call this number. This is at the airport. You have a Negro there that has the passport and like 20 euros. Boss. Right there. Right there. When we're there. If you don't believe me, we can go. If they don't kidnap us from this podcast. The law in Nigeria, and I'm talking about every Nigerian out there that I've met because I have a brother. My mother was married to a Nigerian man before. My brother's Igbo.
Okay.
Imo, Abi estate, half Nigerian, half African American, right? So most African Americans, our lineage will be most likely 30-40% Nigerian. So when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about our ancestors too that come from even you. You would have Nigerian blood.
Definitely.
The law doesn't work in Nigeria. It doesn't work at all. So it doesn't work. So these people that go there know it doesn't work. That money and the jobs, those people are not going to be able to be empowered by whatever money Elon Musk is going to give them for that lithium. Some people are going to eat at the top, but it won't trickle down. We've seen that because Nigeria has been, let's talk about they had an oil fund. They had a sovereign wealth fund. Let's talk about sovereign wealth funds in other countries. There is Norway, which has like a $1.3 trillion oil fund. Yeah. Then you have Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And these oil funds have a purpose. You want to guess what they are? So if you're an oil-rich country, you assume that these resources are going to play out one day. They're going to run out. So we use this money to do what? Invest in other industries that we can leverage. Nigeria is really good like Uganda in agriculture. They have agricultural land, they can grow anything. What happened? Well, once Sani Abacha left power, by the time that they had like $15 billion in that something like sovereign wealth fund, by the time it got to Jonathan Goodluck, it was like $2 billion. Then Buhari, last I checked, was like $400,000 left. Right. Those people are not going to get nothing from this. And the reality of it is that Nigerians, local everyday Nigerians, have no hope. They don't.
Okay.
Their government go ahead.
So to play devil's advocate,
yes, go ahead.
All you're saying is very like, it's a point that needs to be made.
Yes.
But let me play devil's advocate.
Sure.
So the way I see it, the fact that it's actually come out and they're making their intentions clear from the beginning. Like you're not just going to come in and mine it and take it away.
That's great.
Come here, set up infrastructure, take Nigerians, show them how to mine, go from mine to phone to tablet to laptop. So when you guys eventually leave, which you will, you'll still have skilled Nigerians who know how to mine lithium. Now, bringing into what you said with the copper mines that you grew up with, like what are some of the things that can be put in place from inception that will stop, like, you know, like you say, corruption, and will stop the abuse of the resource and it benefits people? Like what can be put in from the beginning so that doesn't happen?
You know, the ideal answer to that is to be able to put a few Nigerians in charge. But I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. Because you could say, put our people in charge, let them be in charge of certain things, let them make some decisions, and then you'd put a few Nigerians there and then they would corrupt the whole system.
I hate to say this.
Just crumble.
I hate to say this. But you're going to have to put some Nigerian women in charge.
Oh, by the way,
and I'm a very pro-male guy, you know?
Yeah.
But the reality is,
they'll start calling you a simp.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, the reality of it is that with Nigeria, I don't know, Nigerian system is so convoluted, and any person that comes into the and I know this is in Africa, I'm an outsider, just like we're just giving our guess. But you know, when you first come to Uganda, let's say as an individual like us, you're very excited about being here.
Yeah.
Until you live here. Right? No, I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's for real.
You live here, and then you hear the famous phrase, This is Uganda. Ugandans always tell you that. This is Uganda.
Yeah.
In other words,
Yeah.
this is how things are, and you can't do anything about it. I suspect that what you have with these people is you have people who want things to change.
Yeah.
They love Nigeria, or they love Uganda. Me and you. I mean, we have this. We all three. I mean, Joan fought for this podcast. I'm going to be honest. Joan fought for this podcast to come back to what it is. And because I wouldn't even be here again if it wasn't for her and Charles' brother George Macon, right? So you have people who care about this country. They care about Africa.
Yeah.
But there are many people in power who don't. And I think that this brother that is doing I don't know who he is, but you said he wants to tell Elon Musk no.
Yeah.
Who's to say that Elon Musk ain't gonna go? Somebody gonna say yes. Because in West Africa, we've had a lot of our best people assassinated for similar things. Thomas Sankara, anybody?
True.
True. I mean, how many of people? Who's the guy that started Afro Beats? I forgot the guy's name. I mean, anytime you want to do the right thing in Africa, it seems like you're dead.
Before you even start.
No, that's right. That is the danger, because when you're messing with people's money, they will do whatever it takes to get to it.
And here's one thing I'll say about Nigerians.
Yes.
One thing that's different about them than anybody West Africans, they want to own everything. They are not docile. Not to say that other people. Nigerians, if you won't find like I'm not,
they don't
not to
play.
be,
Nigerians
there
don't
is
play.
never going to be an Indian, the richest person in Nigeria. Never. They want the Nigerians will do the work. That diaspora wants to do the work.
Yeah.
But when I see things in Nigeria and I see the diaspora who wants to be involved, I talk to these people. There's many of them in the UK. You look at what they're doing in Nollywood.
I've got so many Nigerian friends.
So we know they can do the work. We know they can do whatever. But does the powers that be, like, even look at Sanusi, the Honorable Sultan of the Northern Region. He was deposed. Sanusi, they got rid of him.
But you know what, O'Shea?
He's one of the most honorable guys in Africa. They got rid of this guy.
Do you know what, O'Shea, though? There's history kind of dictates that this is going to go one way, right? And it sounds negatively, but I just feel like this is too important of a moment of a situation to let go. Like, if
but why is that?
Because it can set foundations moving forward. Like, you're not just gonna come here and just take resource.
Nigeria has done that before. It's the first time. Like, even during apartheid, like, remember, they made a deal. Like, you guys cannot sell South Africa oil.
Yeah.
And in the 80s, Nigeria pretty much took all American oil bases, manufacturing in Nigeria, for selling South Africa their oil. So Nigeria has made these stands before, and it's been great. That's why I love Nigeria. Is really supportive. But there are so many corrupt people that the average Nigerian shouldn't be suffering like that. Nigeria ruled, if we want to be honest, I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but I've been all over Africa. Nigeria runs Africa.
True.
You even hear people in Uganda say, Wahala. You look at TikTok comedians, they're mimicking Nigerians. Yeah. Nigeria, when Nigeria falls, Africa is going to fall, right? We know that. So Nigeria has the biggest population of blacks. Every 2 out of every 1 person, 20% of Africans are Nigerian. So now, the thing about it is this. Let me just say this one last thing. The African Free Trade Agreement. I know most of you guys don't look at it maybe like I do. Nigeria didn't want to sign the African Free Trade Agreement. They're one of the last countries to sign. Want to know why? Nigeria can't even produce electricity.
It can't.
What? Nigerians in the comments, if you're going to be mad, comment below. How's your electricity? We were there in Lagos.
Yeah.
The average Nigerian is spending, I don't know how much money on fuel just for a generator. So now, to even get into business in Nigeria, I mean, Nigeria is great. I love Nigeria. But now we're talking about lithium. Is that money, the question is, the money the government's going to make from that, will we improve infrastructure? And I suspect that the interest of Nigeria not being able to produce electricity, somebody's making money off generators. And if you're the person that solves a electricity problem in Nigeria, you're dead, man. You're going to die. Somebody's going to kill you. That's how deep it is.
Yeah.
And we don't want to discuss that, but here on the Repat podcast, we will. And those people that are talented in Nigeria, and I was there, because Nigerians will brag in America. We got the most talented diaspora. We even beating you black America. I don't take no offense to that. Whatever. I used to. I don't.
Right.
But why the Lebanese running y'all economy? Part of it. Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to the average person.
No, it's not fair. And there is the possibility that people like are not, like you said, right? They're not going to benefit from if they draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we're prepared to do with this lithium that we found. Yeah, middle class to upper class may probably benefit more than the lower class, right? I hate even saying lower class, right? But
people who are in poverty.
Yeah, right? So that's the danger. But it has to start somewhere, right? Like the resource is, as we all know, and as we all read and we see in the media, however true it is, right? It has to stop somewhere. Someone has to say, listen, like the brother said in the video, set up here, mine here, educate, and then we move forward.
That is a great thing. Let me do my DJ maintain face as I'm waiting, but we can get the joint here. Here's the situation. A great indication of future performance is past performance. And we got to be honest about this. Nigeria was under what was known as dictator or military rule for many years. Right. Some forced Abacha, Obasanjo, Buhari, those folks. Now we're under democratic rule. So that means that we have leaders that change. Good luck. Obasanjo came back, Buhari's out. But Nigeria has gotten worse. And the stance it's not the first time Nigeria's taken these stances before. The problem is that those people that make the deals, they benefit. The average Nigerian does not. Right. And this is something in the black world that we have to get away from, which is, okay, what about the people that you don't know that's in poverty but have billion-dollar talent? And the Africans don't look at those people as even being a part. Not all Africans, but these groups. In America, let's say, for example, or in Britain, you can come from a family and where you're impoverished. But if you're talented, somebody gonna see it. True. And your work can take you there. Now, it does help if you're rich, but it can take you there.
Yeah.
Whereas in Nigeria, that's a different story. Nigeria is the only country in the world that's the richest country in Africa and the poorest country in Africa at the same time.
But isn't that for most?
Well,
to a degree.
I mean, like the thing is also, we have a lot of tribalistic things. I mean, you have the Nigeria and I'm just, from what I can see, I don't know. I've only been there once.
Yeah.
But the North is bigger than the other regions. So, Lagos is a different story, I believe. It's 18 million people there. So you have people from all over Africa in Lagos or Abuja and these other places. But the thing about it is that, Africa, Nigeria has certain things that they can even do. Nigeria's even afraid to compete in the African Free Trade Agreement because they're afraid that countries like Togo and Ghana are going to beat it with better infrastructure, which is going to happen.
Right.
Not Nigeria, in my honest opinion, Ghana isn't a threat.
But do you know what? Yeah, to a degree. Mm-hmm. But I think what we heard on the brothers' TikTok, this opportunity, it can't be passed up on.
Can't be. What do you think, John?
It can't be.
Listen,
your perspective is so interesting because you come from a mining.
mining. Yeah. I feel like it looks good on paper, but I don't think it will be a nice thing. I feel like there's a price to pay. Once you let outsiders in, they're in, and they'll look out for themselves at the end of the day. I know there's this whole hope of jobs and whatnot. Of course, some people benefit.
Am I being naive, Joanita?
You're being hopeful, so that's nice. You're being hopeful for an African country because even in Kilembe, the mining town, there are people who benefited. Of course, like the blacks who are working at the copper mines had their kids in good schools. They had housing, they had medical insurance and all that. They benefited at the end of the day. But like it was like 2% of the town that benefited. And after they left, these people who were working at the mines had nothing else. So they just died poor.
But the thing is, like I was listening to what you were saying, and that's a very good point. But do any Nigerians know how to mine lithium from inception to the finished product?
I think they'll teach them.
Yes, an excellent question.
Right.
It's a very excellent question. The answer probably is no. But here's what Elon Musk is betting on.
Oh, what's he betting on, brother?
He's betting on the same thing that everybody else bets on when we're dealing with blacks. That you're going to mess up. If you want to bet on something, I'm gonna be controversial here. But if you want to bet on something in any part of the black world, hip hop, natural resources, you're betting on the fact that black people are not gonna get it right, and we hope they don't get it right. We know that they're not gonna get it right. It's true in hip hop. It's true in everything. It's true in sports, because all the money. Let's just look at Dr. Claude Anderson. I know you might not be familiar with him, but he wrote a book called Powernomics. He's an African American.
Sorry, what was it called?
Powernomics.
Powernomics, right?
Yeah.
He's in his 80s, a very intelligent man, much smarter than me. I would love. He never been to Uganda, I don't think. But if we can get Dr. Claude Anderson on the Zoom, and the wisdom this guy is, he's a wizard.
Right.
He said all of the money that black athletes have garnished. I mean, we talked about LeBron as the biggest NBA scorer. You beat Lou Alcindor. You play. LeBron's been in the league for like 80 years.
Yeah.
What has it done for blacks since Jackie Robinson came into the Major League Baseball in the 40s? It's done nothing. And the same thing is equivalent to black British actors.
Yeah, true. And football players.
Football players,
cricket.
How has it changed Black Britain? It has not. No. How has resources changed Africa? Angola, anybody?
No, it's just been pure exploitation.
Yeah. But so is it exploitation by? Because the thing about one thing I notice about people when they give money, we could talk about these outside puppet forces that want to damage things. But once you have the money, you have the power to do what you want to do with the money. Like whenever you get paid in Britain as an individual. All right, Maintain. Here is £4,000 for DJing at this event.
Yeah.
Do they say you cannot invest it into South Black London? They don't say that, do you?
No.
You do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
But they're betting on the fact that you're stupid enough to not do that. Because that's what white people know about us. They know that we're not going to do the right thing. So when Elon Musk looks at lithium, he says, we can teach them how to do it. They're not going to get it. Because they didn't get it with oil. So they're going to get it with lithium. He ain't going to say that, but they know that. And that's the key.
But how do they know that?
Well,
because they're the main protagonists.
Look at, because there's two different ways they can do it.
Yeah.
In the past. Look at Lumumba in Congo.
Yeah.
When the black man wants to be a man, that's the first thing they're going to do is get rid of you. That's number one. But secondarily, they ain't even got to get rid of you now because they know you ain't going to do the right thing. Now, as blacks, we have to start to respect our group to say, we're only going to live X amount of years. What about these next people that's coming behind us? So, because it's okay if I enjoy all the money, but what about the others?
That's why this moment is so important.
You think? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because if Nigeria can get this right from ground up, right, this will inspire the next generation you just mentioned, right? They're looking at it like, oh, my country's actually looking out for me, because that's a main issue, right? I'm gonna admit a confession here. First on Repat, I sit on the fence a lot, right?
Yeah.
I know. I sit on the fence a lot. When I speak to my Ugandan brethren, they feel like there's no opportunity. When they're looking at from the top down to where they are. When I speak to them, like, people don't realize, they just think I'm out and I'm DJing. Like, when I DJ, if I've got a gig and I'm booked, And then they ask me, yo, you can't do the whole 8 hours of the night. Who are you gonna bring? I just bring my boys, my Ugandan DJs that I know. And then we sit down, we talk after, we talk about the world's ills and all that stuff. The main thing I get from my brothers is that they feel like there's no chance for progression. Yeah, they feel it's hopeless. They just feel like the people at the top is just gonna take what they wanna take and it's gonna leave us to die. That's the main like narrative I hear from my boys and my girls, my ladies, my women, my queens, right? So that's why this moment is important, because if you can like show people that, yo, we're not being exploited no more, and what we're gonna make from this lithium mine, it's gonna help infrastructure, it's gonna help you, it's gonna give you opportunities. It just sets a different mindset moving forward. But like you say, there's so many people with fingers in so many different pies and so many different like, you know, agendas. Will it be allowed to get through to that point? Because everybody knows if Africa gets up on its feet,
oh, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
And the Western world knows that.
It's over.
So I just hope that Nigeria can really.
I'm rooting. Let me just say this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big fan of our brothers in that. Like I feel. Well, I'm in Uganda. I feel very comfortable. I feel very comfortable in Nigeria. I know I am Nigerian features. So, but the thing about it is that, you know, the people that are waiting for things to change in Nigeria are probably not going to pass up on the opportunity to move to London, especially now since the EU. You see so many Africans now in London, man. Like 3 years ago, before the EU, the London left it, which I think it was a very bad move for the UK.
Awful move.
It was the worst thing that ever happened. Like that Brexit thing.
Bro, I went to sleep. I didn't even vote because I just thought, man, they're not stupid enough to do it. Yeah, so I didn't even vote. I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning. UK are out of the European Union. I was like, what?
You know, and like, you know, I finished medical school in 2022 and we had an NHS recruiter come. And which is funny, my mom cried. She didn't want me to move to the UK. I don't know, but anyways, like people in Poland, there's a lot of Zimbabwean. Shout out to the Zimbabwean community in Poland. They couldn't get into the NHS before the EU.
But they're trying to destroy the NHS, the government that's in power now.
That's another. Yes, we know. But what I'm saying is this: it's now much easier for Africans to get into the UK than before.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
So
because they need it.
Yes, and so now who is the British going to pull from? Historically, Nigerians have been a key figure for the UK as far as blacks. They built a lot of things there. So what I'm saying is, for Nigerians on the average, I saw one video from one lady in Luxembourg talking about like why she moved from Nigeria, she's never going back. And that's the thing. How can you experience these, you know, when the elections come, you don't feel like you're safe, you don't want to go outside. So what I'm saying is, how are they going to sit back and say, you know, we're going to wait for things to change? Africa needs to do so, I mean, in general, for their people. The Nigerian, and I think what happens is, as us from the diaspora, we have a different experience than those in the elites. The elites have always been rich. Those who come back and are not and become, they have a different experience. So the elites don't see things the way that we may see it. The struggles that we have here. And a lot of the Nigerian diaspora and the people that's there that want things to change. I don't think they're betting on this to happen. And it sounds great, but ask an average Nigerian if they believe that their government's going to do the right thing. 11 out of 10 people are going to say hell no. And I think that's where I'm at. I think that the government needs to. Nigeria has a big population. They have Nollywood. They have every culture.
The music industry is booming.
Yeah. I mean, even the Nigerian. Let me just say this real quick before I'm going to cancel. Even the Nigerian embassies are hard to deal with. Right. I'll leave it at there.
The one in Uganda, he means. But yeah, even when you look at our neighbor DRC, you know, they have so many minerals, but they're so poor. It is so bad. Really, really bad.
Well, maybe that's the example, right?
But like, do you know?
Look at Congo.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen again.
But do you know why the Congolese are broke? sorry,
No, yeah,
are
no.
poor.
Yeah.
It's because of the middlemen. Their fellow Congolese are making them poor because they go and they just get the gold and then they give them pennies and then they sell it to the other person.
Yeah. But like the middlemen, I take it they've got roots that go deep in Congo for years.
Yeah.
So how it's like, how do you change their mindset? Or how do you get them out?
Yeah.
But maybe they've over the years they've amassed so much wealth and power. It's impossible to get them out, right? And in a Congo perspective,
It is.
yeah.
I think
So
so.
Nigeria, is that the same thing? Because I'm not like, you know,
I
like,
believe Nigeria is even much more sophisticated than what's going on in the Congo. Much more.
so this guy in Nigeria that's saying, who's put this, who's suggested how to move forward with the lithium they found. Do you think he's gonna be moved to the side, or do you think they're gonna let him implement this plan, which will benefit maybe the middle to upper class initially?
Let me say something before he goes. Do you know what? Do you know the Nigerian president could wake up and just make a decision and then that minister's opinion or decision won't matter? If he wakes up and says, you know what, let Elon Musk come in, that state minister will just have no say. Like, he'll just have to accept it. So,
It's true.
fingers crossed.
And that's what Elon Musk is betting on. And again, the black world, we have been selling our people out for years. We are going to continue to do that because that's what we've always done until people start to have more respect for each other. We have to understand that the people that came before us, you know, we're not leaving anything to our kids, not leaving anything to our communities. And that needs to be important for us because it's important to white, it's important to Chinese. We have to start to accept those values as blacks. And we haven't, because a lot of that is based on tribalism or whatever, or they're this. And until we get to that point, we're not going to be able to do that. We got to start adding value. I know I talked about the last time, but I just think it's a great idea. I just hope that you're right.
Me too.
I hope that you're right.
Me too.
But I think that Nigerians in the comment section are going to have a lot to say about this.
Let them
Yeah, no,
tell
And
us.
Elon Musk hopes that we're wrong.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure, he's probably not even taking it serious.
No.
He's like, he's just...
How can you? I'm just going to be real. None of those guys take Africa serious. They don't. We don't give them a reason for it. No, nobody takes the black world serious. We don't give them a reason to. We need to. We want to hear them say they take us serious. Think Joe Biden take Black Americans serious, or the World Bank or the IMF takes these? No. We need to start to stand up for ourselves to make people take us serious. And the way that they take us serious is we take each other serious. That's the first step. Yeah.
Hey, any last words as we wrap this up?
No, that was a great way to wrap it up. And just to, like, you know, add on to what O'Shea just said, the first step is this lithium mine in Nigeria. If Nigeria front up and do not allow themselves to be taken advantage of, moving forward, it at least gives the continent some hope with resource mining. That's what I think.
Okay. Jay, any last
I mean, I just hope what he's saying is right.
Yeah.
I'm doubtful, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We hope that the resource course doesn't happen.
No, I you know what?
I know from like your upbringing and what you were around with the copper mine, you just don't think. And I know it's
You know what?
understandable
Maybe it's
because
an-
you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
What it does to communities.
Maybe it's
so.
let's jump on your train and be hopeful and be positive because what else can we do? Maybe we can learn from them. One thing I know about Nigerians is that they're very ambitious, so maybe they'll pull this off.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of waiting. But yeah, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on all my social mediums at DJ Maintain. Been doing this for a long time, so be very easy for you.
LJ.
O'Shea Duke, Instagram.
Yeah. And you can find us at Kenganda Nation on all platforms and subscribe to our channel, please.
Yes.
Tell us what you think in the comment section. And if you're looking for love, subscribe to the Pan-African Dating Show.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.